After our vacations at the beaches and hill stations, it was clearly time for something different. Like, how about an experience of the wild side of Assam, aka Kaziranga? The place that I've been wanting to explore for the longest time. It also turns out that our neighborhood sanctuary also has the largest population of the one-horned rhino and was also declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. So, the idea of an adventure driving along bumpy forest tracks deep within a jungle that scores of people from all around the world come to see sounded bang on fantastic. And so, here we are. After a full night of celebrating the start of the new year, we have woken up the next day sleep deprived to drive to Kaziranga from Guwahati, which is about a 4-hour long journey. We've made sure to leave as early as possible because we wanted to get there before dark, and with it being the peak of winter, darkness is due to set in as early as 4 p.m. around here. Finally, we have made it to Kaziranga around 3:30 p.m. as the sun is casting its final glow over the town. We reach the resort, but we make no plans for the day. The agenda being to simply wind down, slow down, but we make sure to tick off at least one must-do from our list. So we eat a traditional Assamese platter in the restaurant within the resort. At least now we don't feel like we've wasted any time on our short trip from trying out things which a trip through Assam deserves. Today I'm in Kaziranga, Assam. It's the 3rd of January, and just as we were passing around this town, we happened to spot this really beautiful tea garden on the side of the road waiting to be explored. So we just entered through one of the open hedges that we found, and here we are. We all know what people come to Kaziranga for. It's to go on the jungle safaris. So for those of you who are new to this, there are 3 regions to explore basically. There's western, central and eastern ranges, and we happened to go to the western range yesterday, which is also called Bagori. So the day started rather early, and after a quick breakfast we were ready. Booking the safari ride was quite easy. The hotel staff had to be informed a day in advance, and once we were ready the next day, our vehicle was assigned to us and we hopped on from right within the resort for our ride. Today we are going to the western ranges, also called Baghori. The ride from our resort to the park took approximately 20 minutes, and on the way we spotted a scene from the road we were on that looked like something out of a fairy tale book. A lone elephant at a hazy distance against a foggy backdrop, wandering playing amidst that lush vegetation. It was early in the morning, around 8 a.m., and despite the cold and the fog, the whole park was busy with a fair number of tourists. Some groups were already returning, some trips were gearing up to commence. Once inside, the formalities to get the permit was handled by our guide, who also drove us through the park for the rest of the time. It started out really easy and with barely any hassle. The foggy quality of the day lent a poetic feel to the morning, which was cold and quiet. We saw elephants returning from the trip with people aboard, something I dread doing for childish reasons, but not a fear I'm gonna fight because of ethical concerns for the animal. We drove over a bridge and we couldn't see for the vast majority of the distance, but lo and behold, we catch a pod of pelicans in the water body on the side of our trail. These birds are huge and wade like ducks on the water, fishing for their kill. They migrate from colder regions to catch a break in the wetlands of India, including Assam's. It might not look like much on your screen, but up front, these birds look outlandish, and of course for the right reasons. And then we spotted a deer, a carefree deer nestled in a pretty frame next to an unmanned boat. 1 hour into the journey and we have witnessed deer, a buffalo, lots of birds, group of pelicans, and there's so much still left to cover. I don't know for how long this journey goes on for. Maybe a few more hours, but then we're yet to sight the tigers, the wild elephants. As the safari proceeded into the more deeper parts of the trail, we saw the wild water buffalo with its striking pair of horns, quietly foraging amidst a beautiful foggy scenery. Little did the guy know how much beauty that served to the human eye. Slowly, the fog began to thin out as the mild rays of the winter sun lit up the fields through which we were passing. With the ascent of the sun came visibility and more sightings, and now the surroundings opened up to us even more than before. We saw an elephant and a calf quietly feeding between tall elephant grass. After a little break, we have started off again with the hopes of catching sight of the one-horned rhino, which is believed to be in abundance if we looked around. And finally, we catch sight of one. Just a few meters away from us, out in a clearing, all alone, we halted for a bit to watch this massive creature going on about with its day. We drove more. Now I took to the back seat. More sun coming in, more breeze. That safari feeling was real now. After driving some more, the field opened up to vast stretches and sighting rhinos was no more a challenge. A horde of rhinos lay right next to us, rhinos lazily minding their own business under the winter sun. Now we are on our way out from the sanctuary with some remnants of hope still remaining to spot the tiger, but looks like that's not somehow on the cards today. After about 2 hours, the ride was done and it was midday. With half the day still left to plan out, we decided to head to another often recommended location just a few kilometers away from our resort. So we spent this morning exploring the national park. Now, just about a kilometer away from this resort, there is Orchid Park, which is another very well recommended place, and that's where we are going right now. Orchids, all the various kinds, sizes, colors, what's not to find here. If you really got into the hum of this place, you could get converted into an orchid lover too. And in case you fall for one of them, that was up for grabs too. There, a cultural show was going on too, a mesmerizing Satriya dance performance, which is a classical dance form from Assam that was hard to take your eyes off from. And then comes the highlight of this place. The giant traditional Assamese platter that's served here will effortlessly blend into your itinerary for the day. Back from the safari, all tired and hungry, this thali will slide right into your lunchtime. With about 17 different food items, all meticulously laid out in cute little bowls, not one of them missed the mark. And if you're up for it, which you will be, a nice walk around the bamboo forest further down the park was the thing to do after that heavyweight lunch. The sun was now beginning to set and it was time for us to head back to the hotel and plan ahead for the next day.
The next day, after much deliberation, we decided to give the exploration of the more popular counterpart of the Western Ranges a go, which is the central region of Kaziranga located in the Kahora area.
So we are going to the central region today, and I hope we get to see one tiger at least, if not some tigers. And I've seen most of the animals that were promised to us except for the tiger. And as we know, sighting the tiger is quite difficult because they happen to be more elusive. Wasting any more time, let us get started on with our expedition.
Next day, and the same script follows: eat breakfast and set out already. This day is different from the previous. It is not foggy or cold, it is mostly rather sunny and clear. We hop on again and get started, this time heading to the central ranges in Kahora. Here we are, the formalities done, our bags checked, and off we go. The Central Ranges are known to provide easier sightings than the Western Ranges due to the open grasslands, and just a few minutes into entering, we see a group of deer just close enough to the trail. The views in this range are different from the Western Ranges, the fact being this had fewer trees lining the safari tracks on entering and more unobstructed views into open lands as far as your eyes could see. But that doesn't go on to mean that one is better than the other. Western Ranges felt more like a secret passage into the habitat of animals, while this one felt a bit more like walking into an open animal playground as a spectator. We kept riding for close to 2 hours, and although the roster of animals we saw here were the same as in the Western Range, there was one incident that sets this trip apart from the other one, and that was when we spotted a wild tusker. He kept taking a good look at us as we stopped by to check him out, and suddenly he starts charging at the vehicle. I had to stop recording at that point because I know I'm not the one who has a taste for recording drama. This was seconds after he decided to scare us away enough and decided to retreat. And just like that, another safari came to a close. And although we couldn't catch a glimpse of the tiger this time around either, whatever animals we saw made this exploration of the wild side such a wholesome and exciting experience. The one that has got me all interested into planning my next safari trip already. According to the information on Kaziranga's website, this park remains closed from 1st May till 31st October every year, making November to April the ideal time to visit Kaziranga National Park. So there's still a couple of months this year left for wildlife lovers to go exploring this wonderful place. As a footnote, we had stayed in Iora Resort in the central region of Kaziranga. We got a cozy room where the balcony served as a sort of bird-watching gallery. And if you do stay there, do not forget to eat at their Assamese restaurant. So with that, end credits roll. Stick around and I'll see you guys soon.